Hello again. So now we launch QGIS. This is the basic interface you'll see in QGIS. So the main things to keep in mind is this space in the middle. This is where all of your spatial data will be visualized, so you can zoom in and out. These are the different layers in this panel here you can manage. I'll show you in a second how to load layers over here. And this is your browser, so through here you can access different files on your computer. And on the right here is the layer styling. At the moment it's empty because we don't have any layers to style. And most of your commands you'll find just up here in these different drop-down menus, and on the top just here. And on the bottom left, bottom right, sorry, you can see how the coordinates reference is changing while we move the mouse around. You can see a scale, rotation, and we can also see the projection reference we're using here. So at the moment we're using a 2770, which is a British grid. I'm not sure what the default value is, but I'll just change that back to typical one here, the 4326 system. We'll click OK. So the first thing we want to do is install a plugin that will help us bring in some data for us to work with. So all we have to do is go on plugins, manage and install plugins. And what you need to install is just this plugin over here. It's called Quick Map Services. All you do, you just have to click on it and then install here. As you can see, I've already got it installed. So I'm not gonna install it right now, but once you've installed it, if you go on web, Quick Map Services, and then you have these different kinds of maps that you can bring in to your project. So what we'll just work with a standard OpenStreetMap map. So if you just click on that, and as you can see, we have some data loaded just like that. So now you can, by hovering around, we can see that the coordinate system is changing, and we can also zoom in. And as you can see, this is just a raster image. The way you know it's a raster is because we have these icon here with cells, and we can't click on any specific elements because they're all just represented as cells. So we can zoom in here, we can see Manchester. So just like that. So what I want to do now is bring in a different data set. So you should all have access to this data set in your resources, in the video resources. Please check the comments or the attachments to this video. And then all we have to do, this is called a shapefile, and this is the main file in the shapefile. However, you also need these 3 different files, so because they contain different information. Some of them contain geometric information, some of them about the projection, and some of them about non-spatial data. So what we just have to do is always deal with the shapefile just here, and then we just drag it on to our layer system. And if we zoom out, you can see that we've imported the different counties of the UK. And because the shapefile and the raster file already has coordinates, a coordinate system and a projection system already working, we don't really need to position anything. This is all embedded within the metadata. So you can see here there's kind of perfect alignment with the edge. So if I go here, now you can see the layer styling is available for us. We can reduce the opacity, and then we can see how these, this is the Manchester, for example, Stockport, etc. Just over here. These are different counties. So you can zoom in and out by using the scroll wheel, and then you can see just over here we have a square, and this indicates to us that we're using a polygon vector dataset. And with this we can do is just click on the different features. So I mentioned earlier that a vector feature has a vector layer has different features within it, and then this one here we can't really select anything on the raster layer because it's all just one single image. Yeah. So if we go back on the vector layer, and then we can click on any of these features. So this is the spatial data that we can see here, all represented by geometries in a polygon. So what we can do is also have a look at the non-spatial data that's attached to each of these features. So by just clicking on this button here, what we can see is our attributes table. Ooh. Just go back. So we can see our, I think I'll just have to make this shorter. You can see our attributes table, and with this attributes table, basically each row represents one single item here, and each of these columns represents an attribute of the item. So if we select Manchester, for example, we can scroll down and we can see that the code for Manchester is this, ending with a 03. The name of this polygon is Manchester, and the label is the same as the code. We can add additional features to this attributes table if we edit it, but I'll show you how to do that later on. All you need to know now is each of these elements are separate and they're represented as rows, and these attributes, and each of these elements has separate attributes. So if I select all of the Greater Manchester regions and then go here again, I can see they're all highlighted in blue. So Rochdale, Wigan, Stockport, Bolton, Salford, Tameside, and Bury, just like that. So we've given an overview about the layer system, different types of data that we can bring in, the browser panel, and the layer styling, and some of these basic commands at the moment. We'll go into them a bit more in the next video.